You know, there's this strange quiet that happens to an empath right before they become what Carl Jung called unstoppable. It's not the quiet of defeat, not at all. It's a profound transformation. The person who emerges from that quiet, well, they're operating on an entirely different frequency.
And you know what? They're right. But this isn't some kind of breakdown. It's a deep psychological reconstruction. The person they knew is, in a way, gone. Jung studied this for decades and realized it was about becoming something the world just has no defense against, a person who feels everything but cannot be moved from their center.
So how does that even happen? What is that journey from being totally overwhelmed by the world to having this unshakable self? That's what we're going to explore, the exact stages of this transformation, from all that suffering to this final, really powerful state of being.
Okay, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll dig into the painful stages of the empath's early journey. Then, we'll dive into the terrifying but liberating turning point, the death of the old you. After that, we'll uncover the 5 incredible qualities that emerge. And finally, we'll look at the new relationship with pain that actually makes all of this possible.
To really get this final stage, you have to understand that it's built on every single painful experience that came before it. Seriously, without that foundation, the breakthrough just can't happen. Jung saw this clear progression that, honestly, a lot of empaths get stuck in.
So here it is. It starts with unconscious absorption. That's where you just feel crushed and you're convinced something is wrong with you. Then comes the awakening. You realize, oh, I'm an empath, but you're still trapped in the cycle. And that leads right into stage 3, attempted boundaries. You try to say no, but it's coming from a place of fear and exhaustion, not real strength. And you know, walls that are built from fear, they always get tested.
This right here, this is where most empaths get trapped, sometimes for years. You cycle between stage 2 and 3, understanding the problem and then trying to fix it. It feels like you're making progress, but it's really just a painful, repetitive loop. So, what breaks the cycle?
Well, the missing piece isn't just more knowledge or trying to set better boundaries. It's something way more radical. It's what's known as ego death, and it's followed by a total reconstruction from a completely different part of your psyche.
Check this out. It really highlights the key difference. See, most empaths are operating from their wound identity. Their whole sense of self is built around being the sensitive one, or the one who's always been hurt. The final stage demands a huge shift to what Jung called the self, your true integrated center. From that place, those same traits get totally reframed. Your sensitivity, it becomes a precision instrument. Your empathy, that's a form of high-level intelligence.
And this is the key. Ego death doesn't mean you cease to exist. It means that wound identity, that story you tell yourself about being a victim or a fixer, it can't just be healed or understood. It has to completely die. It has to stop being the center of your gravity. And that is the radical step that most people, understandably, resist.
Now, when that old identity dies, there's this period where you are, well, nothing. The old self is gone, but the new one hasn't formed yet. You're just standing in this psychological void. And let me tell you, this is the most terrifying part of the whole journey. Most people panic right here and retreat back to the familiar pain of their old wound identity. But for those who can stand it, who can tolerate that emptiness, something new begins to emerge.
So when an empath manages to stay in that void, the self starts to reorganize their entire consciousness. And from this brand new foundation, a set of amazing, integrated qualities emerge. And these aren't things you're trying to do. They are simply who you have become. And what's really crucial is that they all work together, each one supporting the others.
These 5 qualities right here, when they're working in concert, are what create the unstoppable empath. So let's break down what each of these actually looks and feels like and how they all build on one another.
First up is perceptive authority. This is where that constant self-doubt just evaporates. You've been through too much. You know your perception is reliable. You trust what you see with this deep, quiet certainty. This is the foundation for everything else. It makes you impossible to gaslight because the manipulator's favorite tool, making you doubt yourself, is suddenly completely useless.
This new authority leads right into the next quality, selective engagement. Because you trust what you see, you no longer feel this obligation to engage with everything and everyone. Instead of just soaking it all in, you direct your attention like a searchlight. You can be in a crowded room, perceive every emotional current, but you consciously choose where to focus. This isn't about building walls. It's about mastery. And it's the end of that chronic exhaustion.
Now this one surprises people. Integrated ferocity.
Empaths often suppress their anger, but the whole empath reclaims it. And this isn't some reactive rage, it's a clean, purposeful anger. Powered by your perceptive authority, you can deliver a single, devastatingly accurate sentence that just cuts right through manipulation. Not to be cruel, but to be absolutely clear. You haven't become mean, you've become whole.
So, when you have that authority, mastery over your focus, and access to clean anger, you achieve this: emotional sovereignty. And this is profound. It means your emotional state belongs to you. You can walk into a sad room, perceive the sadness fully, but it doesn't get to hijack your internal state. You are no longer at the mercy of the world's emotional weather. This is what true psychological freedom feels like.
And finally, all of these qualities culminate in purposeful compassion. That old, compulsive, draining compassion is replaced by something precise and effective. Because you're sovereign, you can see suffering, but you're not compelled to just jump in and fix it. So when you do choose to help, you invest your energy where it will truly make a difference. This allows you to care for a lifetime without ever burning out.
Okay, so with these 5 qualities locked in, the most fundamental thing of all begins to shift: the empath's relationship with pain itself. This is really the final piece of the puzzle.
Before, as you see on the left, pain would basically take up residence inside you. It organized your identity, it defined your life. In this final stage, pain is treated more like weather. It arrives, you feel it completely, no resistance, and then, just like a storm, it moves through you and it's gone. It no longer captures you. This ability to feel pain so deeply without being defined by it, that is the ultimate power.
And this is the ultimate paradox of it all. This final stage isn't about becoming cold or detached. It's about fully, completely inhabiting your humanity. You're not unstoppable because you've built up some kind of armor. You're unstoppable because there is nothing left that you need to protect. You feel everything, and in that feeling, you remain completely yourself.
So really, this whole explainer boils down to one final thought. Jung's journey isn't really about learning a new skill. It's about letting go. The only thing standing between you and this final stage is the part of you that's still clinging to the old story. So the real question to ask yourself is this: what part of that story are you willing to let die completely?